I started with the Nurses Union before it existed. Started in May 31st, 1972 at the meeting of what's called the Nurses Staff Associations of Nova Scotia.
I was hired in 1978. I was 29. I was hired into an accounting position. It was a brand new position with the Nurses Union.
I was here for 42 and a half years before I retired. I was receptionist, I was secretary, and jack of all trades. I did the books, the bookkeeping, and made arrangements for reservations and appointments. And as time went on, I even did subpoenas.
I got involved with the Nurses Union right from the very beginning because I graduated in 1974. In 1988, I was elected to the board as the Halifax Regional Rep. Then I became first vice president, and then I became president in 1996 until 2002.
Like all nurses' unions, when we started 50 plus years ago, was really to give the frontline nurses, the bedside nurses, those who get their hands dirty days and night, a voice at the decision-making table, and to have a great collective agreement. That was 50 years ago, and it is still today our main goal.
In 1976, when we first started with the Nurses Union, there was about 600, maybe to 800 nurses, and they were RNs. There were no LPNs at that time.
We were in a house in Dartmouth when I first got involved. You know, our boardroom was a dining room, and we had an apartment upstairs where the board stayed.
Back then, I think there were about 16 locals, and each local was like their own union. They were certified as the bargaining agent, and it was done that way because each employer was separate. And they just came together and pooled the resources, hired me as a labor relations officer. And so what we wanted to do at that time was to organize all of the nurses within the province, and thought it would be a simple and efficient process to bargain at one table in the various sectors: acute care, long-term care, and community care. But the employers were very, very opposed to that because, you know, a lot of the hospitals and nursing homes were founded by people within the community. Finally, they all agreed. We chose a committee, and we had the committee go from table to table to table. And so the employers ultimately agreed to that.
What comes to mind is the arduous journey that we had trying to get provincial bargaining. I wasn't front row center of that, but I certainly was in a support position for it. But I remember how much I was really hoping for that. It meant that nurses could bargain together and make more gains and advances in their working life.
I only had 4 months maternity leave, and that wasn't enough. Others were getting more, and so I thought, well, the only way we're going to change this is if I get involved. So that's in essence what I wanted to do when I joined the union, just extend the maternity leave.
In 1996, because of the changes to the health authorities, there was a forced vote for the IWK members and the Grace Maternity members together. And on the vote was either Nova Scotia Nurses Union or no union. And so that was really troubling. Children's hospitals across Canada tend to not want to be unionized or didn't. And so that was a big job. When I was campaigning and I crossed the line from the Grace Maternity, because we were the IWK Grace at that time, into the territory of the IWK, I was very nervous, but we were successful in winning that vote.
Long-term care nurses and community nurses didn't make the same as acute care nurses. Getting that wage parity amongst our nurses was a huge success for this organization.
I go back a few years ago when you, through government legislation, created the Nursing Council for bargaining, where he put NSNU as the key union to bargain for nurses in Nova Scotia, that you had to galvanize the nursing power, and it continues today. Your members are so proud of your organization that per capita, they continue to be the highest implicated nurses union members in the country.
I had a 36-year career with the Nova Scotia Nurses Union, most of which ended up to be a director of finance and operations for the organization. I really appreciate the Nurses Union giving me the opportunity to grow.
I enjoyed the negotiating process. I really quite liked bargaining at local levels as well as regional and provincial. There were times that we would get fairly substantial increases. One agreement, we got 35% over 2 years. And so, that was quite rewarding.
It felt like that to me when I came to work for the Nurses Union, that it would grow into something really, really well received by its members and contributing a lot to their well-being and their work life.
The nurses have really worked hard to get to where the Nurses Union is.
A lot has changed during that time, and a lot will change. I'm just really glad to be able to be part of the celebration of that, and I just, expect it to continue and to improve from here.
I think the union has grown up over the last 50 years. There's a lot of things we've learned. At the same time, the success of the union is because of the people, and that hasn't changed at all.
We now have our own building, and we have way more staff, and our membership has grown. So I think just watching the growth, it's like watching your child, grow and become, and I'm very proud of the work we've done as an organization to be where we are. We are a force to be reckoned with in this province.
It's in your interest to be part of that union so that you can have your voice heard. You can be protected against employers who want to take away your rights. If an employer wants to terminate you or wants to discipline you or wants to move you to some place where you don't want to go, then you have the union there to advocate on your behalf.
Growth as an individual, growth as a leader for everybody. Like, once you get involved in this union, you will grow. You will grow personally and professionally.
There is one word that I really do think of when I think of the Nurses Union, and that's respect. I felt valued and respected by the organization, and that stays with me for the rest of my life. I want to wish the Nurses Union a happy 50th anniversary and very best wishes moving forward.
Congratulations to the 50th anniversary of the Nova Scotia Nurses Union, and I'd like to think in my 42 and a half years that I had quite a large part to play in how big the union's got.
There's a person that I need to thank for what's happened to me, and that's Tom. Tom, as you know, started our organization, but the reason I have to thank him is because I interviewed for a labor relations job, and Tom didn't give me the job. I didn't get the job, so eventually I ran for president, and so I have to thank Tom for not giving me the job. Thanks, Tom.
I want to express how proud I am of the union, and I congratulate the people who are currently involved and those who have been involved to reach this milestone.